Jean-Michel Basquiat, Genius, Fame, and the Tragedy. August 12, 1988. A loft in Manhattan. Inside, a young man lies alone. He is 27 years old. His name is Jean-Michel Basquiat. By this point, he is already a global art star. His paintings sell for tens of thousands of dollars. Critics call him a genius. Collectors call him a phenomenon. But in this moment, none of that matters, because he is dead, a heroin overdose. And almost immediately, the narrative begins. Not just grief, but mythology. Another brilliant artist, gone too soon. Another name added to a growing list. Society seems strangely comfortable, romanticizing, and so we have to ask, why do we keep turning artists like Basquiat into legends? Only after they destroy themselves, before the fame, before the galleries, before the headlines. Basquiat was just a kid in Brooklyn, born in 1962, a Haitian father and a Puerto Rican mother. His identity was layered from the start. His mother Matilda played a crucial role in shaping his artistic mind. She took him to museums, encouraged his drawing, and treated his creativity seriously. There's a story often told. At just 7 years old, Basquiat was hit by a car while playing in the street. During his recovery, his mother gave him a copy of Gray's Anatomy. Most children would have ignored it. Basquiat studied it. The diagrams of bones, organs, and internal systems fascinated him. Years later, those same anatomical fragments would appear in his paintings: skulls, ribs, raw, unfiltered, almost clinical bodies. Even then you can see it. He wasn't just learning how to draw, he was learning how to see beneath the surface. Basquiat didn't stay stable for long. His parents separated. His mother struggled with mental illness and was eventually institutionalized. Basquiat drifted angry, independent, searching. He attended prestigious schools, but didn't last. Authority didn't fit him. By 17, he had dropped out completely. No diploma, no safety net. His father even kicked him out of the house. Basquiat was homeless, sleeping in parks, on friends' couches, selling hand-painted postcards just to survive. And yet, this was where something powerful began. Before Basquiat became a name, he became a message. Together with his friend Al Diaz, he created Samo, not just a tag, a concept. Samo stood for same old shit. But it was more than rebellion. It was commentary. On buildings across downtown Manhattan, phrases appeared. Samo, as an alternative to playing art with the radical chic sect on Daddy's funds. It was sarcastic, sharp, intellectual. People didn't always understand it, but they noticed. There's an anecdote from that time. A young Basquiat, standing near one of his own Samo tugs, overheard people discussing it as if it were some kind of underground philosophy. They had no idea the artist was right there, watching, listening. Already, he understood something most artists take years to learn. Attention is power. In 1979, Basquiat appeared on a public access TV show. Soon after, his work started appearing in galleries. But the real turning point came in 1980, the Times Square show. It was chaotic, underground, experimental, and Basquiat stood out. Not because his work was polished, but because it felt urgent, alive. There's a famous moment. Basquiat, still unknown, walked into a restaurant where Andy Warhol was dining. He approached him and sold him a postcard. Warhol later wrote in his diary how quickly Basquiat produced the work almost instantly. It left an impression. Within a year, Basquiat was everywhere from the streets to the spotlight. Basquiat became one of the youngest artists ever to achieve international fame. He was featured in major galleries. Collectors rushed to buy his work. He went from selling art for a few dollars to thousands, then tens of thousands. But success didn't just change his environment. It changed how people saw him, and more importantly, how they used him. He wasn't just a bohemian artist anymore. He was a symbol, a young, black, raw genius, a commodity. The art world loved the narrative because it sold. Basquiat's paintings spoke about race, power, and exploitation. Ironically, he began to experience those same forces firsthand. Even at the height of his fame, Basquiat struggled to get taxis in New York. collectors would pay thousands for his work, but on the street, he was still just another black man being ignored. This contradiction became part of his art. Words like sugarcane, slave, and crossed-out crowns appeared repeatedly. His paintings weren't just expressive, they were confrontational. But the more famous he became, the more the art world tried to simplify him, to market him, to turn complexity into a brand. His relationship with Andy Warhol became central to this period. Warhol was already an icon. Basquiat was becoming one. Together they created collaborative works, spent time together, supported each other, but it wasn't a simple relationship. Some critics accused Warhol of exploiting Basquiat. Others believed Basquiat needed Warhol's validation. When the 1985 joint exhibition received harsh criticism, Basquiat took it personally, deeply. It wasn't just about the art, it was about identity, about legitimacy. There's a concept in philosophy, the myth of Sisyphus, a man condemned to push a rock uphill forever, only for it to roll back down. Basquiat's life began to mirror this. Every success led to more expectations. Every painting had to be better than the last. Every moment had to live up to the myth. But myths are dangerous because they're not human. After Warhol died in 1987, Basquiat was devastated. He lost more than a friend. He lost stability. His drug use increased. His isolation deepened. There are accounts of him working obsessively, painting for hours, barely sleeping, trying to outrun something, or maybe trying to fill something. When Basquiat died, he was only 27. The world was shocked, grieved, and then they romanticized his life and death. He became part of a pattern, the 27 Club. Artists like Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and Kurt Cobain, brilliant, troubled, gone too soon. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Society doesn't just mourn these artists. It uses them. Their pain becomes part of their brand. Their death becomes part of their value. After Basquiat died, his paintings didn't disappear. They exploded in price. In 2017, one of his works sold for over $110 million. Think about that. The same world that pressured him now profits from his absence. Basquiat's story forces us to confront something difficult. Do we truly value artists, or do we value the mythology we create around them? Because it's easier to celebrate a legend than to understand a human being. Basquiat wasn't just a genius. He was a young man navigating identity, race, fame, and expectation all at once. And like Sisyphus, he kept pushing until he couldn't anymore. If it made you question what success really means, then this channel is for you. We don't just tell stories about artists, we explore the truth behind them. Subscribe for more stories like Jean-Michel Basquiat. Like and share to challenge the way we think about fame and success, because maybe it's time we stop romanticizing the fall and start understanding the climb. Because maybe it's time we stop romanticizing the fall and start understanding the climb.